Hey guys, my name is Haley, and I am going to be filming an actually suggested video, but also one I meant to film like when I got here a month and a half ago and didn't. And that is going to be my books that I brought with me. These are the bookshelves I'm working with. They are like built into the wall, and there's a bunch of things that I've already put on this bookshelf that I'm going to have to move out of the way. In the process of doing this, could I have just sat down on the floor with piles of these and filmed that way? Yes. Why would I do that though when that is the easy way? Why why would we do it the easy way? We never do anything just the easy way. Why would we do that? But also, so much stuff has piled up here from me being here for literally just a month and a half. So we're gonna be here for a minute. Let me get all the knickknacks off and then we will talk. We also just have like all of my actual jewelry and bracelets and other things. I'll leave the bookmarks up there. We can talk about those. Oh my god. I bought this while I was here. Isn't it cute? It's like a water bottle with a strap that you can carry around. Because my water bottle, if you didn't know, is huge and hard to carry around. So I don't know why I'm holding this. This is more manageable for short trips. We have some pins. We have all of the book flags that I use to annotate. There's going to be stuff everywhere. Do I have any on the floor? We'll talk about those. I have two from my unhaul pile. I'll throw those up there. I've been meaning to reorganize this too because I've started to already like go through and figure out which ones I want to donate. Because I'll be so for real with you, when I first packed, I packed all of the ones mainly that I wanted to read soon, not necessarily like favorites. Oh, I have some over there too. I'll do those last. Don't let me forget those. Editing me. But yeah. So my criteria was I knew I was going to be gone for at least 3 months. And everything else I was going to pack into storage. I also was stuffing them in a car, so I didn't want to bring very many, if at all, any like special editions or anything that could get damaged because they weren't like super well like packed for the actual road trip. My special editions and everything that are in storage, however, are packed very well and safely in bubble wrap and everything, so don't worry about those. But yeah, I essentially just like picked the ones I wanted to read the most or the ones that I would have time to dive into. So I brought a lot of nonfiction, which you'll see me talk about here soon. And then again, ones that I've already gotten to that I have already put in an unhaul. I think I have another one in here. Is that it? I think that's it from the unhaul pile. My other criteria was literally however many I could read in 3 months, and I generally read anywhere from 10 to 20 books a month. It has been way less than that during the moving process. I will be so for real with that right now, but so that was where I came up with the number like 40 to 60. Am I going to count them? No. Did I count them when I packed them? At some point, yes. Oh, I should go grab those now so I don't forget them. Hold on, let me go get the ones on the bedside. I bought this here. I did not bring that with me. You get to go down there. I already also have a few ones that I've gotten either thrifting or little free library hunting, so there may be a handful of those in here, so the numbers might be off, but it's fine. So I'm going to start with the three that I'm already unhauling. One, if you saw my last vlog, we can save us all. This was just, oh, that sounds fun. I don't necessarily want to pack it. I'll bring it with me and see if I like it. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen my last vlog, I did not like it. I hated how pretentious and annoying all of the characters were. This is a bunch of Princeton people, mostly boys, at a college at the end of the world. Didn't like it. And then we have All Roads Lead Here. I enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. I like Mariana Zapata. This is an ARC copy that I got in a little free library, and it's kind of beat up. I also don't know that I would ever reread it and that I want to carry around this thick of a book when trying to pack my life up moving around. So that is my current reason for wanting to get rid of it. Not because I didn't enjoy it, but because it did its job and I no longer need it. And then we have Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. And these ones especially, and also We Can Save Us All, I'm keeping these until I can fill my wrap up in like a week, and then I'm getting rid of them because I have already ranted about this several times. I don't like this book. I found both of the main characters infuriating in the fact that they wanted us to believe that they needed a romance. I hated it. So yeah, I did bring these, but I also loved the video game aspect. This was very confusing for me. It's currently sitting at a 3-star. It might drop lower than that. The more I think about it, the more I don't like it. But I did bring those with me. All right, where do we start? Do we start with the nonfiction or the fiction? Let's start with the ones that are on my bedside. I'll be so for real with you. I did not bring this. I picked this up while I was in LA. If you saw my, did I put that book called? I think it's in my Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals vlog. I'm out of breath. I've been sick for like the last week, and I'm pretty sure I had COVID, and am going out to buy COVID tests today. So we're in a COVID surge, y'all. Anyways, Camp Damascus, I did not bring with me, but it is going to stay in my cycle of books because this is one of my favorite queer books that I've read in quite a while. And then I brought my 2 nonfiction teaching books of Creative Schools and Out of Our Minds. And this is about the anti-intellectual movement in schools. I annotated the crap out of these in the last couple of months before I moved, and I still intend to make videos on it, and I haven't gotten around to those yet. So I will be keeping these with me. Then I have the graphic novels I brought. I have American Cult. I am also probably going to film a vlog if you would like to see that vlog of political nonfiction, but also like political graphic novels. Please let me know. So I have American Cult, which might look like a certain someone who's in charge of the current regime. I have the entirety of Mouse, which is both volumes of this. This is told a story about the Holocaust, but told as if all the humans were mice, because that makes it more digestible. And then we have On Tyranny by Timothy Snyder, but the illustrated version, which I'm very excited to read. Let's do fiction, because I've read some of these. Oh, this is another one I've read. I brought my Gay Jesus book with me. This is Dayspring by Anthony Oliveira. If you've been around here for a minute, you know this is one of my favorite books of last year, and I never shut up about it. Oh, I have another playbill from Guy in there. But yes, I annotated the crap out of this. This is the story as if John the Beloved and Jesus were romantically involved, and it is told in a non-linear format. And it's told as like all of the red words are literally Jesus like they are in the Bible. So if you haven't heard me talk about this, I'll link my vlog of me reading it down below, because it's one of my favorite books of all time, so I had to bring it. I have another book that I've read. We have Say a Little Prayer, also annotated this. Going to stay in my repertoire of books to carry around with me, and thankfully it's teeny tiny and small and has so much religious drama, which is right up my alley. Then we have a book I'm in the middle of. I have Exiled in the Land of the Free, which is Democracy, Indian Nations, and the U.S. Constitution. This is a exploration, which I've already read, I think, 50 pages of, and as you can see, have started to annotate it. I also have a whole notebook of notes that I've been taking, so this is going to be a slow read, but a very important one. So if you're looking forward to that vlog, it's probably going to be a while in the making because this book makes me so angry, but I did bring this with me because one of my goals was to learn more about Native history, because I feel like that was something I didn't learn very much about in school at all. And I feel like America does a disservice in not telling people about it. So yes, there's a video of some kind of this coming. I've been filming vlog clips here and there. We'll see how that video ends up turning out, but if you're looking forward to that, let me know if that is something you're interested in. And then we have a Constitution in literal book form, because if you didn't know, they've taken the Constitution down from the government websites a few times since a certain someone has been in office. So keep an eye out for these if you ever see them, which is wild that I even have to say that. We have a bunch of my bookmarks and such that I brought with me. I have a youth protection, how to protect your child from child abuse. This is just more teacher stuff that I brought with me. Maybe we'll stay on the teacher idea for a minute. Hold on. Then I have the Montessori toddler. Montessori method is something I've been wanting to learn more about for probably a year now, since I've met a few people within my time in different daycares as a daycare teacher who have talked a lot about the Montessori method. So I wanted to learn more about it, so I brought this with me. We have some more nonfiction over here. We have The Queer History of the United States. If you know me, this is right up my alley. We have American Indians of the Southwest. I am in the Southwest right now in the Vegas area, if you didn't know that. I have Madeline Pendleton's book. I know she gets a lot of flack online. I've followed her since like 2021 when she started to get like a really decent following. And I think she has really important financial advice as well as deconstructing capitalism. So I had to bring Madeline's book with me. I don't want to hear anybody talking shit about her. She gets a lot of shit online for stupid stuff because people are scared of the word socialism and communism due to American propaganda. So that's a whole nother story that we'll get into some other time. Then we have A People's History of the United States. I know this is very popular on TikTok right now. I actually thrifted this at the Goodwill bins, like at the very beginning of the regime back in January when I started picking up a lot more nonfiction and history books because they're erasing history. And this was, I found out later, apparently a very important one. Oh, things are falling. We gotta keep going. All right, we gotta go faster. We have A White Teacher Talks About Race. Again, always looking for the teaching books. We have Cooking Up a Revolution, Food Not Bombs, Homes Not Jails, and Resistance to Gentrification. I picked this up at Pride. And I also was like in talks with people who involved in Food Not Bombs back in Ohio. And I need to find a chapter of it around here. We have Autism is the Future. I am very wary of books about autism because a lot of them are very harmful. So I do not condone this one because I haven't read it yet, but I will let you know when I do. I have I Feel Love, Notes on Queer Joy. This is just short little snippets from queer authors. We have Crisis and Care, Queer Activist Responses to a Global Pandemic. I want to read this soon because I feel like it's very relevant with the current COVID surge. And then we have Out of the Ordinary, Essays on Growing Up with Gay, Lesbian, and Transgender Parents. With all of the fear being instilled with the current regime on not only specifically trans folks, but queer people in general, if you didn't know about freaking, don't curse, Ron DeSantis coloring over the Pride sidewalk that was made in front as a memorial to the people of the Pulse shooting back in, when was that, 2016, 2017? Books like these are very important for people actually knowing what they're talking about and not just believing people who are here to fearmonger just because they have a loud mic in the current office that they hold. That's all I'm going to say on that. Then we have the Laramie Project. This is also queer story of some, where is this at? This is Kansas? Wyoming. The Laramie Project is something I've heard about for years. This is also like a previously annotated copy, so I'm excited to get into that. It's so hot in here. Ugh. We have my 3 classics that I've been meaning to read, but it feels so dystopian that I feel like they're just going to make me angry. So we have 1984, Brave New World, and Handmaid's Tale. When I find the mental strength to read these in the current situation of the United States, I will let you know. We have 2 other random classics. We have The Book of Longings and Perfume. 2 books I've been meaning to read forever that I know I'm going to love. And then we have Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents. Same genre as the other dystopian. In more nonfiction, we have The Coming of the French Revolution. And I feel like we all should be feeling a little French with everything that's going on. We have The Slave Ship. I've read several books by Sharon M. Draper earlier this year, one of which was about the slave trade and the specifics of it, but in fiction form. And ever since I read that, I've been wanting to find a nonfiction, and I found this in a little used bookstore in Ohio before I left. So I've been wanting to dive into this, but I know it's going to make me angry. Then we have Empire of the Summer Moon. This is a book about natives that I picked up recently in LA. I did not actually bring this with me, but I will briefly mention it. This is another one I picked up at that bookstore in LA. We have Stage Struck, Theater AIDS and the Marketing of Gay America. Important reads at this current time. We have From Freedom to Slavery, The Rebirth of Tyranny in America. I believe this is also written by a native. And it's also this weird size, which was really easy to stuff in the sides of the bags that I packed all these books in as we drove cross country. We have Down to Earth Sociology. I've been wanting to try and teach a lot of sociology concepts to myself because I don't have the money to pay for schooling for that right now. And this was the most compact book that I had. It also seems to be an introductory version of it. I have a bunch of textbooks of it that I thrifted back in my thrifting history books time. So that's what I have for now. And then we have Voices from the Street, Truths About Homelessness from Sisters of the Road, which is also important with all of the things our current president is doing to the marginalized citizens of the United States. Okay, on to fiction for slightly lighter topics. We have Heaven Official's Blessing. I also have the other two. I have the first three of this series. I've been meaning to read it forever. I've owned it forever. I brought them with me in the hopes I will finally freaking read them if they're in front of my face. Same thing for Danmei. We have Case File Compendium, also a Danmei. We have You've Got Mail, The Perils of Pigeon Post, also a Danmei. And we have The Guy She Was Interested in Wasn't a Guy at All. This is a sapphic manga. This one is actually manga, as opposed to the Danmei, which is more like a light novel. Honestly, the only reason I haven't read this one is because they're literally like $18 and they're like not even 200 pages. And I don't have that kind of money right now, and I know I'm going to want the second one. And my library doesn't have them. We have another book I got at the bookstore recently. I didn't bring it with me, but it will be staying with me until I read it. That's Vanishing Monuments. This is apparently sapphic. We have Forbidden by Tabitha Suzuma. I've owned this, I want to say, for like 5+ years, if not longer. This was a huge book on BookTube back in the day, and I've always been too scared to read it. So if I don't read it when I only have like 30 choices, I don't know when I'm going to. I have Babel by R.F. Kuang. I was just going to, I think this is also on Kindle Unlimited, but I found this at Half Price Books right before I left when I got rid of a bunch of books that I didn't want to pack and or pack away in a storage unit, and they had this for really cheap. And I was like, oh, here's my chance to read that. We have We Can Never Leave by H.E. Edgman. This was my favorite author and favorite book of last year. This is their new book that I still haven't gotten to because I've been in a reading slump. We have The Lost Tarot. This is a book I bought in Canada last year when we went on a trip. And oh, that was another criteria for a lot of these books, is that my library didn't have them or didn't have a copy. This I can't find anywhere in the library. I can't find on KU. Like, that was the criteria for a lot of these as well. And I should have mentioned that earlier. I have Notes on Surviving the Fire by Christine Murphy. This is an ARC. I also brought several of my ARCs with me because then I can just put them in little free libraries when I finish them if I do not feel the need to keep them. Same goes for When Women Were Dragons. This is an ARC copy that I got in a little free library that I can just pass along when I'm done with it. I'm so out of breath. It's so hot in here. It's 108 degrees outside. It's super hazy, bad air quality. The AC is going, but it's not strong enough. And then we have the two sapphic books that I had left on my TBR. I have Sarah Waters' Fingersmith and Tipping the Velvet. These are queer sapphic historical fiction that I've been wanting to read forever. I have For Whom the Bell Tolls. This is one I picked up at Half Price Books because I needed another book to pick for when I got rid of all of my books in K-pop that I didn't want to keep at Half Price Books. And this was one of the two books that I got. Where did I put that? It's over there somewhere. We have Elysium Girls. This I just picked up. I did not bring this with me. This is a new buy, but it's also here on the shelf in case you're wondering. Oof. We have Blood Over Brighthaven, which is the only special edition that I brought, and that's because my friend bought it for me. And this isn't a, like, pretty enough that I can't find it again if it gets damaged special edition. It's just red sprayed edges. That's it. That's the only thing special about it. But also, I've been wanting to read this. I just have not been in a fantasy mood. I've been in such a reading slump, and fantasy is the last thing I want to read right now. And then I have Yellowface. I've been reading... I shouldn't be filming right now. I can't even talk. I've been meaning to read this for literally forever. And I've owned it since a booktuber convinced me to buy it. And I still haven't read it. But that's another R.F. Kuang, which is the author of Babel. I have read The Poppy War by them. And I did enjoy that, but I did not continue the series. And then last but not least, we have my used copy of S by J.J. Abrams. This is one of those, like, am I going to drop something? Mixed media books, kind of like House of Leaves. I'm always looking for books that are like House of Leaves. And it comes with, like, ephemera. Can you see that? I don't want to drop anything out because I don't know what all's in here. And it's like annotated and such, and that's how you're supposed to read the book. And I'm always looking for books that remind me of House of Leaves, because House of Leaves is still to this day one of my favorite books of all time. I love mixed media. So yeah, I guess you could count that as a special edition if you really wanted to. But yeah, those are all of the books that I brought with me to Vegas, cross country, driving from Ohio to Vegas. It was a 6-day drive. We did take like a day and a half, 2-day break in Colorado. And I'm sweating, and I need to end this video because now I have to actually organize this. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you all for watching. Let me know if any of those you would like me to read as soon as possible in the comments down below if you would like a review. But thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you guys next time.